Well, good morning, beautiful, and welcome to a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus. We're going to be spending about the next 45 minutes together in a full face makeup tutorial. And let's see, my name is Wendy, and it is a delight to hang out with you here today. I am excited to get to work on a easy beginner cut crease today. So super lovely. We're going to be playing with the Afro Galactic palette and then also with a liquid eyeshadow to achieve that little bit easier cut crease look this morning. So our easy makeup theme today is going to be pink and black cut crease eyeshadow tutorial for beginners. So let's do this. Grab you a fun palette. You're going to need, if you're going to do the same colors as me, you're going to need a pink and a black and a little bit of a pale kind of color for blending, and then a liquid eyeshadow. And then grab your brushes, grab your lashes, and then get on back here. So let's go ahead and watch that intro. A little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus. Voice, face, acting, can't wait. All right, so I forgot to ask you, let me get the chat going here. Give me a shout out, let me know where you are coming in from, and tell me what verse you're gonna need to work on the most this week as we review chapter 1, because can you believe it? Ta-da! We have got to the end of chapter 1 of James. Alrighty, so our foundation verse for this podcast is gonna be Psalm 119, verse 11. I have hidden your word in my heart that I might not sin against you. And then all of our scripture, we are working our way through Color Me James, which is going to be a study, journaling, coloring, puzzling, memorizing your way through the book of James. So we are in week 12 right now, but it is designed to just jump in where you are, whenever you are. So be sure to get your copy of that. You can do that on the website link there, a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus.com. That is available in an ebook, so you can do everything digitally, or you can do a perfect binding, which is coming from Amazon, or a spiral, which you'll get directly from my website. All right, the spiral is my favorite because you can lay it down flat when you color. All right, so let's take a listen to our song from last week as we wrap up chapter 1.
She don't speak just to be heard, doesn't decorate her faith with fancy words. She's quick to listen, slow to speak, a gentle voice, strong and meek. No fire from the tongue, no cuts in remarks, just truth wrapped in grace and peace in her heart. She's not performing for applause, she's anchored in a higher cause. Anyone who sets himself up as religious by talking a good game is self-deceived. This kind of religion is hot air and only hot air. Real religion, the kind that passes muster before God the Father, is this: reach out to the homeless and loveless in their plight, and guard against corruption from the godless world.
Oh my goodness. That is probably one of my favorite songs that I've done for this particular study. And so if you have not had a chance to listen through that, I don't think the video has posted yet, but the song should be Apple Music, Spotify. Wow. I really, really like that one. Not, the verse itself, but the thought behind it kind of reminds me a little bit of like Proverbs 31 woman. So While it is me who wrote the lyrics, it is not a testimony to myself per se. It is more an admiration and inspiration of where to go and how to be, using Jesus as that example. So make sure that you get out and listen to that. Okay, let me, well, if it will do it. Okay, congratulations. So just wanted to say congratulations for those of you who have been with me from the beginning to now. If you are watching this later on and you have been hanging through chapter 1 from beginning to end and you are memorizing along with us, congratulations to you. Job well done. It looks like the video is sticking just a little bit. Hope it's playing on your end, but it's a congratulations with all kinds of fun confetti. All right. So let us go ahead and take a look at what we're going to be playing with today. So today we are going to be playing with the Afro Galactic palette, and that is from Juvia's Place. Then we're also going to be using an eyeshadow topper, which is a Juvia's Place as well. This one is Yanga. And those are the two main eyeshadow things that we'll be using. So that's going to be all kinds of fun. You can find that in the show notes of this podcast. As soon as the podcast ends, it'll be like here or somewhere. And then also you can find it on the website, a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus. On that homepage, any of the new ones that were added, they'll be there like straight away. So you should be able to find it pretty easily. Okay, let's see if I can get this to, there we go. Okay, so what is scrolling across the bottom of your screen is the verse that we worked on last week. Now, I spent a little extra time working on the song and not enough time working on the the verse itself. So this week is going to be a catch-up week for me to get to work on that verse 12. But I will tell you, the song is definitely helping me move that little process along a little bit faster. So let me get over to the chat again. There we go. Two of my favorite colors. Woo-woo! Yay, there we go. I got at least a little bit of chatting going on here today. And I've got a little bit of lag on my end. I hope things are working well on your end. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to get going with our professional primer. We're going to start out. Here we go. Looks like I got reconnecting on my earpiece. Hope y'all are doing okay over there. I had a brilliant idea of how to do technology this week, and I'm thinking maybe it wasn't so brilliant. Okay, here we go. We're going to work that between our fingers, and we're going to put that wherever we're going to need a little bit of help with keeping our foundation in place, controlling that shine that if you have combo or oily skin. We're going to use that around our lips because that's going to help our lipstick to stay in place and do its job a little bit more effectively. There we go. Just drop a lid. No worries over here. Okay. Let me see. Oh, one more thing. Because we're using some pretty pigmented things today, we're actually going to use an eye primer as well. This is the Eye Prep Eye Prime from Juvia's Place. I am the shade 1. I haven't used this in a little bit, so I'm going to give it a shake just to make sure that it is good and mixed up and ready to go. So it does not take much of this at all. So we're going to use like that right there for the whole both eyes. So we're going to do, what is this going to do for us? This is going to help our shimmer be shimmerier. Is that a word? I'm not sure. It is now. And it's also going to reduce redness, darkness, even out that color on your eyelids so that when you put your shadow on, they can do their job a little bit better. It will also help to reduce any creasing or anything like that if you get any of that with your eyeshadow. Okay, so now our eyelids are prepped. And now I'm going to move to the Bye Bye Under Eye from IT Cosmetics. This is concealer. Okay, don't forget to give me a shout out, Tim, where you're coming from. And which verse was the verse that was maybe the most difficult for you that you need to work on a little bit this week? Or a lot of it? So we're just going to kind of put that big picture in its place. We're going to leave it there for a second while we chit chat. All right. And I'm going to, while we're doing this, I'm going to go ahead and grab my foundation brush. This is the Juvia's Place JP 102. Yeah, JP 102. And we're going to use that to blend out that concealer now that it's warmed up to our body temperature just a little bit. Usually we blend that over all across the lid. This time we're just going to keep it in that corner. And then get it up underneath those eyes. I am so excited about this look today. It's, I don't know that I've used this exact color combo before, but it's super fun. Now, you could really use any combination of colors that you want. You're just going to need some kind of lighter color to go up on your brow bone. Then you're going to need like a medium dark as your primary color. And then you'll need a black or a super dark brown as your accent and intensifying color. Okay. Oh, I already popped the lid off. But this is the Lancome Tinty Doll. I'm in the shade 225N. We're just going to give a little pump of that right there. That will do the whole bottom of my face. Now, if you like a little bit less coverage, you might be able to tap that around and have that do, you know, your whole face. I like a little bit nicer, thicker of a coverage. I would say my favorite is between a medium and a full. I like a little bit of your skin to show through, you know, so you look like human, but not so much that you can see like red and imperfections. Kind of a nice balance in there. And then we're going to use another partial. That might have been too partial. And we're going to do our forehead. We're going to go all the way up to that hairline and all the way into those brows. There you go. That way, when you get everything put together, it is going to be a seamless color, seamless look, you know, like you were born with it. Okay. Getting around those nose. Making sure I hit that Cupid's bow. And getting a little closer, make sure I got everything nice and good. Okay. And now we're going to set it. Now, last week, I started using new Juvia's Place. I don't even think it's on their website yet. This is the Juvia's Place. I think it's called Silky Setting Powder. This shade is called Coconut Flakes. And then I'm using their little mini puff here. This is on their website. So I'm not sure. I picked this up at Ulta, so I don't know if it's like an exclusive to them for a minute or what's going on with that. It's a little bit different than the other one of theirs that I have been using. But let me tell you, I am loving this. So you have a nice open surface here. We're just going to use the tip of that, set it there, tap it out. It's very creamy. Well, not creamy. That's not a good word. Silky. That's what it's called. It's very silky. And it is, I don't know if I would say mattifying, but it does keep you even. So now I'm going to flip that puff over to the larger side. I'm just going to set it and tap it out. And I do love that with the puff, you have less waste. I mean, there's not stuff like floofing into the atmosphere, ending up as dust in my studio. There we go, tapping it again. It's just very, very soft. If you have not tried this yet, I know at the Ulta near me, they also had testers of this. So just go give it a try and see how you, I mean, I don't know. Testers might, some people are kind of grossed out by testers, whatever. You can ask an associate to help you and they'll sanitize it and clean it before you use it, and then you can feel better about it. But they have a great return policy, so one way or the other, you're covered if you don't like it. So if you don't like testers, just go ahead and pick it up, and then you can always take it back if it doesn't work for your skin. Okay, so there is that. And look at that. Nice and smooth and soft and easy, and I don't even have any on my shirt, so that little puff thing is beautiful. Okay, so now that we have done all that, we are going to contour and put our shades back in, because now we're just an even color playing field here. So I'm going to grab my dual-ended It Cosmetics foundation brush and my KVD palette here, and I am going to be using 3 colors out of here. We're going to use this one, and then just a little smidge of this one here. So using that flat side, we're going to go from the ear, kind of curve down around towards the corner of the eye, sort of heading towards that nostril. We're going to stay above the hollow of the cheek. There we go. Same thing on the other side. Y'all are being a little quiet today. And last week, the video that we did had a great amount of views. Super excited to see that. So for those of you who are here and watched last week's video, I'm so excited and thankful that you stayed and watched that. We're going to go to the skinny side of this, from the ear to the corner of the mouth, just under that jawline. Then we're going to go from the eye to the tip of the nose, leaving this like channel empty so that we can add the highlighter there. We're going to go just under the tip of that nose there. Now we're going to take the tip of that and we're going to tap it here and just hit that outside. And you're just sort of flicking it. That's a technical term. A flick. Okay, now we got our lows, so let's go ahead and add our highs. We're going to use the fluffy end of this brush right here. And right down the center. Then I'm going to go ahead and just come back here, make sure that's clean. All right, so now we got our highs and we got our lows. So we're going to go ahead and grab that Juvia's Place. And we're going to be using this one right here. So I'm going to grab my blush brush. Right between that highlighter and that bronzer. And then I'm going to give it just a little bit of a tap right up here on that bronzer. And whatever's left, just tip a little on that nose and the chin. We're just trying to make the color a little unified. There you go. But yet not, you know, give you a Bozo the Clown nose. Wow, I haven't heard that word in a while. Okay, so now we have all of our highlighting and contouring done. So let's go ahead and say, I know we got a verse scrolling across the bottom of our screen, so we're going to have a pop quiz. Okay, you ready? Here's the pop quiz. We are going to say James 1:1 together. You ready? Here we go. I, James, a slave of God and the Master Jesus, am writing to the 12 tribes scattered to kingdom come. Hello, hello, hello. If you've heard the song, you know what that was about. Okay. Let's go ahead and do our lips. Today, we're going to be playing with... Juvia's Place lip liner, and this is Scorpio. We're going to twist that up just a little bit. We're going to line, and then we're going to do a little ombre, a little fill in from the outside corners, and then we're going to add the lipstick. So I just realized I did not grab a magnifying mirror, so that's fun. Okay, here we go. We're going to start out in the middle. Just give yourself a little V there in the Cupid's bow so we got something to work with. Now we're going to round ourselves out to the outside corner. We're going to be just on the outside of our lip line a little bit. Same thing on the other side. Okay, now we're going to start in the center in the bottom. Give us a little point of reference. Again, just outside your lip line. And now we're going to round that out to the outside corners. Okay, we're going to take our liner and do a little bit lighter pressure just to the inside of that. Okay, now from the outside corners, we're going to come about 1/4 of the way in and fill that in. Okay, I just noticed that I'm kind of cutting off here. Sorry, it's because I don't have my mirror. Here we go. Okay, better. There we go. So now take a little bit of step back. Check and make sure you like the shape of what you just created. All right. Now I'm going to grab my MAC. This is Maximal Matte lipstick, and this is Snob. Nice, kind of a pleasant pink color. Not too bright. Looks different, but looks great on all skin tones. All right, so we're going to start out by filling in the empty spots that we have left, and then we're going to fill out to the outside. So first the middle, empty. There you go. And now we're going to blend that out to the outside and then over these darker corners. Okay, because we're doing an ombre, every once in a while, you can see I kind of muddied the middle a little bit. So the tip of my lipstick is a little bit linered. Woo! So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that and I'm just going to wipe that tip off on a tissue. And that's going to clean off the tip. And then we're going to hit just that middle again. And we're just going to clean up that middle a little bit. So you can see now we've got a nice ombre going on. We got some depth on the outside corners, which has then pushed forward the center of the lips that we have. So it's giving you a little more illusion of a puffy, pouty lip without actually having to use any plumpers or anything like that. Okay, so now what are we going to be doing? So now we're going to be playing with our look today. So here's what we got. We're going to be using the Afro Galactic, like I said. We're going to be hanging out in these colors here. We're going to be using Spirit on the upper part of the brow. Then we're going to be using Discovery. Then our intensity on the outside is going to be with Stars. And then we're going to come back in with that Yanga, that Juvia's Place liquid eyeshadow, and have that be the cut crease. So we're going to start out with a blending, just a nice fluffy brush. This is a Morphe M456. We're going to start out with that in Spirit. So you're just going to go right up here on the top of that brow bone. Just give a little bit of color. We just need something to blend into. And that does have a little bit of shimmer in it. I don't know. I kind of like that. You can use a matte if you want to. Okay, so we're going to set that brush aside. Yes, everybody needs that lipstick. I love Snob. It is amazing. It blends with so many colors. I also love it with MAC's Walnut lip liner. That's super pretty. The Coffee Bean lip liner from Juvia's Place is really nice as well. It's just beautiful. Okay, so we are going to, here, let me get a look here. There we go. Okay, so we are going to start out, actually, let's do this one here. I'm going to grab a Morphe M321, and we're just going to use the tip of that in the Discovery right here. Just get a little bit of that on the tip. Better to go over and over an area than to like overdo it and you end up with a whole bunch of fallout. So you're going to feel where your eye socket bone is, and you're going to go on that and up. So if you have hooded eyes, you definitely want to be a little more of the up on there, because when we look forward, we want to see this pink over that fold of the eye. So you could actually start like this, and it's going to get cleaned up. So don't worry about it if you get it a little bit messy right now. And we're just going to come in. And that's our first color. So let's just pack a little more color so we get a little more payoff from that. And I'm going to come in a little bit here because I want to make sure that when we get the pink on there, it's got something to blend into. And don't freak out yet. I know it's a little bright to start out with. It's going to tone down once we add all the other colors. Okay, so at this point, look forward and make sure that your pink is coming out above that fold of your eye. There you go, like that. So you can see that pink peeking out. And I'm going to go ahead and just bring that up a tiny bit. There we go. Now, what I just did there, I need to do on the other side. So let's do it again. Right there on the tip. On that eye socket bone. Coming around. Coming into the middle. And then I'm going to bring it in about, I don't know, it's about a third of the way. I'm going to bring it up just a smidge. Now we'd be looking all crazy right now. It's okay. It's okay. Okay, now we are using a dark color. So if you have any fallout, or if you don't see any yet, you probably have some. So grab you a fluffy brush and just kind of dust off any fallout that has already happened. We're just going to set that brush down because we're probably going to need it. All right, so I'm just going to use that same brush here. No, actually, I'm not going to, because if I do that, Okay, so I'm gonna grab the Morphe M431 because the next color we're using is a black. If I was to use the same brush, if I don't dust it off very good and transition from the pink to the black, you're gonna end up with muddy pink, and we don't want muddy pink. So I've grabbed a fresh brush. We're gonna go in Stars. Stars is a very dark color, so you want to do that and tap it off. We're going to go here in the outside. We're going to bring that right where that pink ends. And then we're going to bring it right up here. Now, don't be scared. Don't be scared. Okay, so what you got now is this kind of crazy looking thing right now. Don't worry about it. We got this. If you have any fallout, go ahead and catch that now. And now let's blend these together just a little bit. So no extra shadow on the brush, just what you have. And you're just going to go back and forth over that black you just put there. And give that edge a softer edge. Just like that. Okay, you can see what we got now. We're going to grab our pink brush again. And maybe just tap it a little bit. And we're just going to go over where we just did that black and make sure that we're nice and blended. Okay, so that part's just about finished. So I'm going to grab the brush that we used in the beginning with the spirit, and I'm actually going to get a little spirit and one tap in Discovery. And I'm going to go right over the line where Discovery and Spirit meet. You're just going to kind of go back and forth a little bit. And we're just going to blend those together. So again, just a little bit, one tap. Right on that line where Discovery and Spirit meet. There you go. Now we've got a nice, now usually we would finish the top before we do the bottom, but in this case, we're actually going to do the bottom and then we're going to finish the top. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my smudger. This is the Morphe M508. And we're going to start out with the lighter color on the inside and then move that to the outside. So we're going to grab a little bit of Spirit here. We're going to go right on that inside corner. Then we're going to go into Discovery. And we're actually going to go all the way across that bottom lid with Discovery. Did I just say bottom lid? Anyways, you can see what I'm doing. All right, same thing on the other side. And we're just right into that lash line. Now we're going to be very careful with this one. We just need a little tiny. Just give a tip into Stars and go right here on this outside corner. And we're just going to bring that up around. And we're just going to use that little thing to intensify that outside corner. Just a little bit. There you go. So you can see we've got that under done. And just to make sure, I'm going to go ahead and take that brush that we were using, the M321 that had the Discovery on it. I'm just going to get a little of that Discovery, and I'm going to go just a little bit further right here. I just want to make sure we can blend out nicely. So it's ended up, I'm about halfway. Okay, so here's what we've got now. All right. So, you ready for the magic? I'm so excited. So excited because I love Yanga. Okay, so this is Yanga. And the Juvia's Place liquid shadows have a very nice flat paddle. So what we're going to do is, see how it's skinny there, wide there. We're going to take that and we're going to go right here. And we're just going to follow that cut crease up. Using the edge of that tool. There we go. I know I told you it's easy and so fun. So I'm going to go all the way to the inside corner of the eye. And I'm just going to bring it out to right about there. So you can see what that looks like. So now we're going to do that same thing on the other side. Going straight to the inside corner. Let me grab a little extra eyeshadow for the tip there so I can do this. Oh, I just love it when I do that. There we go. And just get a nice clean edge. Now, if you find that maybe your edge isn't blending off so nicely, just take the tip of your finger and just touch the edge of that. And that will just blend out nicely. See, look at that. Oh my gosh. Can you see that shimmer? Okay, now, the one thing that we need to do now to complete this look is going to be the eyeliner is going to matter in this particular thing. So we're going to play a little bit with the Too Faced Killer Liner in Killer Black. So, oh man, I didn't grab my pencil sharpener. Okay, so here we go. We're going to go from the outside corner to just a little bit past the middle, but then we're going to raise it up a little bit on that outside edge. So you're going to go from the outside corner to a little more than halfway, and then we're going to raise it and do another line and bring that up. So essentially what you've got is a triangle going down to the center of the eye. And then we're going to do that same thing on the other side. So I've given it I've done the top part of that triangle, and then I've come back the second time and filled that in. So essentially, this liner is 3 eyeliner widths high on the outside corner. And that is going to help with the intensity on the outside. We're going to go ahead and line about halfway on that bottom, right in that lash line. And I do see a little bit of fallout if I smudge that. There we go. There we go. Try it again. Right on there. There we go. And again, we're coming about halfway. Nice. There we go. Look at that. Wow. Wow. I knew I was going to like this. Okay. So now we're going to take our eyeliner. This is the Too Faced Better Than Sex Liquid Eyeliner. And we're going to do just a straight line from the outside to the inside. And wait till you see the lashes we're using today. Now, if you want, you can also take this liquid eyeliner and bring out a little more intensity on the outside corner with this too. There you go. So that's what we've got. Wow. I really like that. Okay, so as I get closer, you can see there's a little bit of space there. So we're going to take the tiny smudger that we used under the eye. We're going to grab that stars, and we're just going to fix that. There we go. Bring that back down to that liner. There we go. Okay. See the difference there on those outside corners? All right. So again, we're going to do this now. If you have noticed that you have a bit of fallout right now, let's go ahead and let me show you how to get rid of that. 2 ways. So the first way, which evidently I didn't grab. Okay, so one way, we're going to grab our powder. We're going to grab the puff that we have, and we're going to use that pointy end. If I can get the powder unscrewed. There we go. We're going to just dip the tip of that, like the very tip of that. Tap that out. And clean up anything you might have had fall out. Now, what that also enables you to do is give a little sharper of an edge over here. Now, we didn't do... it's not tremendously drug out over here, but there you go. But we can clean it up like that. The other way I was going to show you, but I didn't grab the brush, is using the Magic Bullet brush, which that they discontinued the particular one I have, but they did remake it a little bit different way. It is from It Cosmetics. And if you go to my website, you'll see it. I don't remember if I tagged it Magic Bullet or not. Just reach out to me on social media. And if you want to know about that particular brush, I'll help you with that. Okay, so now that we got that, let's go ahead and do our brows. So go ahead and grab whatever your brow product is. For me, that is the Bad Gal Bang in Wild Plum. And you're just going to fill in your brow and style your brow. Okay, and also an update. For those of you who are following my journey with the makeup allergy eye watering thing, I have been using some eye drops for, I don't know, about 2 weeks. I put the drops in my eye before I go to bed. You can do them like 4 times a day. But I put them in my eye at night before I go to bed. And then I put them in my eye right before I brush my teeth while I'm getting ready. And then, makeup comes on after that, probably about 20 minutes later. It has been, I'm not going to say it's a miracle cure, but it has been a miracle seeing that thing work. It is so, like right now, today, I haven't even had to wipe my eye yet. It has been lovely. I am so impressed. Do I remember what the name of the drops are? No, sadly, I don't off the top of my head. But I'll tell you what, next week I'll bring them with me. It was something by Visine. I don't remember. I remember it had 2 ingredients in it. So let me look it up and I'll put, you know what? I'll do a social media link for it. That way you can find it on, whatever platform you're on, so you'll know what it is. That'll be definitely helpful. Okay, so anyways, update about that. That's been working beautifully. So we are going to be putting on these right here. This is the Kiss Lash Couture Masterpiece Lashes, and this is Avant-Garde. These are a new pair, so we're going to actually trim that down and put these on. So I'm going to use the Bad Gal Bang, and I'm going to use my Tweezer Man Great Grip Onyx Eyelash Curler to get those curled before we put our lashes on. So let's go ahead and go with that. So find your sweet spot for your lash curling. Remember, when you put that on, you want it to crimp your lashes, but not pinch your eyelids. So if you feel any pinching, you can undo that. Okay, let's see. What verse are we going to say today? Let's do... Oh, I'm having trouble remembering. What is the one that is... Ooh, I like that one. Okay, what is this one? It's 13 to 15. Okay, here we go. Don't let anyone under pressure give in to evil say. Hold on. Wait, let me try this. Let me try this again. Okay, here we go. Don't let anyone under pressure give in to evil say, God is trying to trip me up. God is impervious to evil. The temptation for evil comes from us and only us. We have no one to blame but the leering, seducing temptation of our own lust. Lust gets pregnant and has a baby, sin. Sin grows up to be a real killer. Okay, there you go. That's one of my favorite songs. Yeah, I say that with every song. Okay, here we go. Same thing on the other side, verse 13 to 15 again. Here we go. You ready? Go. Don't let anyone under pressure give in to evil say, God is trying to trip me up. God is impervious to evil and puts temptation in no one's way. The temptation to give in to evil comes from us and only us. The leering, seducing temptation of our own flare up of our own lust gets pregnant and has a baby, sin. Sin grows up to be a real killer. I did pick a long verse for that now, didn't I? Okay, so now we're going to do 1 coat of mascara on the top lashes so it will blend with our false lashes. And again, this is the Bad Gal Bang Mascara, which is a water-resistant formula. They do have a waterproof one, but I like this one so much. Only time you couldn't use this one really is if you went swimming. Okay. Same thing on the other side. We're just going from root to tip, giving some color. And you can see, even with mascara on my lashes, because this look is so glamorous and bold, you can't even see my lashes. So this is why we're going to need a set of false lashes today. I have been considering this set of magnetic ones that I keep seeing on Facebook. Facebook stopped tempting me. But I've not actually purchased them yet. I have not tried a pair of magnetics that I super liked yet. So now let's mascara the under eye. And do that one more time because it looks like this might be. There we go. And we're going to do that same thing on the other side. Sweep it up under those tips there. And absolutely, if you wanted this to be more of a neutral glam, you could do this with chocolates. You could do this with paler pinks. If you're going to get this kind of look, though, you're going to need to be able to use the black or at least a dark brown. The dark brown might be a little more softer of a look. But you need whatever color to, you know, kind of come against that. Okay. So let us play with these. Okay. So first thing is we're going to, woo! Okay. I didn't know it was going to fall out like that. So we're going to grab our lash tool. We're going to take these off the tray just from the outside edge. A lot of times when you very first pull a lash off, they're kind of sticky. So be ready to play with it a little bit. And these, they might have a little tiny bit, like it looks a little narrower here, but not a whole lot of flare. Okay, let me get that other one off here from the outside edge. There we go. We're going to take that and we're just going to kind of set it. And we definitely going to need to trim some off on that. So typically, let's see, that's this. So that's going to be this side. Typically, I have smaller eyes than what lash manufacturers make. So I always have to trim off. So I'm just going to take my little trim pair here. And I'm just going to cut that off. This particular scissors from Velour, man, they're just beautiful. They work nice and sharp. Be careful of your finger. And let me go ahead and cut that same amount off on this side here. I think it was about that much. There we go. Whoop. Hold on, I don't think it snipped it all the way through. Okay, there we go. Oop. Okay, I have no idea where those two things went. Now, these are a new pair. So one thing we have to do is soften that band up a little bit. So we're going to take the two sides of this and we're really going to roll that band. Get that softened. I have a very round eye, and so I need to make sure that it is going to cooperate with my shape of my eye. So we're just going to roll that. And these are nice and beefy enough I can just hold this. I'm going to grab my eye lure. This is the 18-hour eyeliner. And we're going to go right on the edge there. And then on the inside of that band. We're going to make sure we pay special attention to those outside corners. Let's just set that one down. We're going to grab the other one. Here we go. Right on the top. I got something. What is that? Oh, I see. It's windy. This is why you don't use your fingers to do this. I know. Look what happens when you violate your own rules. Okay. So we're going to get the inside of that band. Again, making sure we catch the outside corners there. And then we're just going to set that down in front of us for a second. And then what we're looking for is the adhesive that we just put on is white. If you use a black adhesive, you can give a look at, so when you first put it on, it's going to be very shiny. So when it is ready, it's going to stop being so shiny. And in the clear, you're going to notice there's going to be a couple of spots that might be starting to get clear a little bit. That's when your adhesive is just about ready to be put on. So I'm going to grab the first lash that I put that adhesive on. I'm going to grab it in the middle there and take a look, and we're just about ready. So we're going to fan it just a little bit. And then we're going to set that down right in the center. Right on that line that we made. And we're going to walk the inside edge right on that line. I think I might have it too far this way, so we'll just go this way a little bit. There we go. And we're going to put that on the line over here. There we go. I could probably use to trim these down just a smidge more, but it'll work for today. Okay. Going to use the tip to work our lashes in with that lash. Going to make sure everybody's occupying the same space together. Nice. Check that tip right there. And that one is ready to go. Wow. Look at the difference between those two sides. Okay, let's grab that other one. We're going to grab that in the middle there, and we're going to set that in the middle on this side over here. I'm going to catch the inside. Catch the outside. And don't forget, I didn't say this at the top, but you can ask questions while we're going along. So any questions about a product I'm using, how I'm doing something. With the eyelash, I don't think you could say, hey, show me that again. But the replay, the good news is you can go back with the replay and watch it as many times as you want as soon as this thing posts. And it's on whatever podcast platform. So, you know, try to make it as easy as possible so you can get back to these things. Okay, so now we're just going to press that in place. Give a look. Oh, yeah. Lovely. What you think about that? Take a look there. Nice cut crease. Super easy. Used an eye primer to make that go on. So now we need to just add that little extra something, and then we'll be finished here. So I'm going to grab this is an Anastasia highlighter brush. Thank you. I'll get my words. And I'm going to grab the Juvia's Place. This is a Heroin 2. Heroin Glow 2. So we're going to take that. We're going to get this right in there. We're going to go down the center of the face. I'm going to fan that out just a little bit on the chin. I like it right there on the end of the nose. A little here, right here, right here. So you don't need to worry too much about what you did here to clean up that fallout because you're coming back in here with the highlighter. Okay, now we did all that work. We want that to stay all day, right? We do not want to have to touch up or change anything during the course of the day. So we're going to grab our Juvia's Place Ready, Set, Sealed. Give that a shake. Go ahead and spray that down. Oh, lovely. And now the look that you have created is going to stay all day or all night, depending on what you're doing. For me, it's going to be all through work today. So it has been a delight to hang out with you today. I am so excited that you have made it through chapter 1 in the book of James with me. So make sure you check out a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus.com for all the things that are going to go with this episode. All right, so we do have our review that we're going to be doing. Let me get over here. There we go. Here we go. So we're going to go through a review of the book of James together. So let's take a look at our flashcards. And I'll make this available on the website this week as well. Okay, so we've got James 1:1. I, James, am a slave of God and the Master Jesus, writing to the 12 tribes scattered to kingdom come. Hello. Let's see. There we go. Let's see if it'll work this time. Okay. Consider it a sheer gift, friends, when tests and challenges come at you from all sides. You know that under pressure, your faith life is forced into the open and reveals its true shows its true colors. So don't try to get out of anything prematurely. Let it do its work so that you may become mature, well-developed, not deficient in any way. If you don't know what you're doing, ask the Father. He loves to help. He loves to, pray to the Father. He loves to help. Oh, you'll get his help and you won't be condescended to when asking for it. Ask boldly, believingly, without a second thought. People who worry their prayers are like wind-whipped waves. Don't think you're going to get anything from the Father that way. A drifted sea, keeping all your options open. When down and outers get a break, cheer. When the arrogant and rich are brought down to size, cheer. Prosperity is as short-lived as a wildflower, so don't ever count on it. You know that as soon as the sun rises, pouring down its scorching heat, the flower withers. The flower withers, its petals wilt, and before you know it, that beautiful face is a barren stem. Well, that's a picture of the prosperous life. When everyone is looking on in admiration, it fades away to nothing. Anyone who meets a testing challenge... Wait, hold on. Yeah, that's it. Okay, anyone who meets a testing challenge head on is mighty fortunate. For such persons loyally in love with God, the reward is life and more life. Too many buttons to push around here. Don't let anyone under pressure give in to evil, saying, God is trying to trip me up. God is impervious to evil and puts evil in no one's way. The temptation to give into sin it comes from us and only us. The leering, seducing... Let's see, we have no one to blame. There we go. We have no one to blame but the leering, seducing pressure of our own lust. Lust gets pregnant and has a baby. Sin grows up and becomes a real killer. Grows up into adulthood and becomes a real killer. All right. Post this at all the intersections. Is that right? Verse 19 to 21? Nope. James 16 to 18. Just kidding. So, my dear friends, don't get thrown off course. Every desirable and beneficial gift comes from the Father above, Father of heaven. The gifts are rivers of light cascading down from the Father of light. There is nothing deceitful in God, nothing two-faced, nothing fickle. He brought us to life using the true word, showing us off as the crown of all his creatures. Okay, there we go. Now we got the post the intersections one. Okay, post this at all intersections, dear friends. Lead with your ears, follow up with your tongue, and let anger straggle along in the rear. God's righteousness doesn't grow from human anger. So throw all spoiled virtue and cancerous evil out. Make evil in the garbage. In simple humility, let your gardener, God, landscape you with the word. Period. Okay, but whoever captures a glimpse of the revealed counsel of God, the free life, even out of the corner of his eye, and sticks with it, is no distracted scatterbrain. If you've heard the song, you know what I'm doing. But a man or woman of action. That person will find affirmation in the action. And then the verse that we worked on, this is the one before last week. This was week before last. So no. Hold on. Affirmation in the eye. Oh, I just did the wrong verse for the wrong picture. I'm so sorry. Let's go back one. Okay, so this is, sorry, I've got two different things going on here. Okay, so is this one 22 to 24? Yes, it is. Okay, so don't fool yourself into thinking that you are a listener when you are anything but. Letting the word go in one ear and out the other. Act on what you hear. Those who hear and don't act are like those who glance in the mirror and then walk away, forgetting and 2 minutes later have no idea who they are or what they look like. And then we go to the one that we just did. Let me get over there. There we go. Which is, but whoever captures a glimpse of the counsel of God, there we go. The free life, even out of the corner of his eye, and sticks with it, is no distracted scatterbrain, but a man or woman of action. That person will find delight and affirmation in the action. And then the verse that we had last week, which I personally need to work on, so I'm going to have to cheat a little bit on this one. Let's see. Anyone who sets himself up as religious by talking a good game is self-deceived. This kind of religion is hot air and only hot air. Real religion, the kind of that passes muster with God the Father, is this: reach out to the homeless and the loveless in their plight and guard against corruption from the godless world. All right, so that is what we got going. Again, all of these are coming from Color Me James. This is our book we're working through. Ebook, perfect binding, or the spiral. Put as much into it as you want, but the more you put into it, the more you are going to be able to have that word be a part and help you to be able to take action, as the book of James is encouraging us to do. All right, so Beauty and Grace Insider, that is on YouTube. Now, the ebook is going to come with the Cherish Queen level. So with that level, you get that ebook for free. That allows you to digitally complete the book, digitally color in the pages, and just all kinds of fun. If you want to print the stuff out, you can do that too, because it's a PDF. All right, so you recall how you want to do that. So that's on YouTube, youtube.com @littlemakeup.lot-of-jesus/join. So just go there and hit join. I don't know why they make it so complicated, but there you go. All right, so let me send you out in a blessing. Okay, from Numbers chapter 6. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you. The Lord be gracious to you. The Lord lift his countenance upon you and give you peace. Sorry, got a little bit of a hiccup there. All right, so here we go. Let me pray over you. Heavenly Father, I thank you so much, Father, for each one of these women that, whether they're joining me here live, they're watching this later, they've been here all 12 weeks or not, congratulations. For those of you who have stuck it out, who are diligently working to memorize those verses, Father, I just pray that you would bless them this week, that you would help us to remember these verses as they come along, as situations arise where the verse fits and is appropriate. Help those to come flooding to our mind. Help us to speak those to ourselves and to those around us, Father. Use this scripture to just be encouragement and to wash over us, Father. Thank you so much for James sharing these things with us so that we know how to work it out, how to live the real life, how to have true religion. Father, just pray a blessing on them this week as they go throughout their week. And in Jesus' name I pray, amen. Well, it has been a delight to hang out with you this week. I look forward to seeing you throughout social media, whatever platform it is that you're on. Ask questions, show me pictures. Let me see what color combo you used with this look. I would love to see this with a blue. So somebody do this with a blue and let me see it. All right. Well, y'all have a great rest of your week. Goodbye. God bless. I love you. Mwah.